Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. I'm your host Zach Barnes, kicking things off for us this week. Head softball coach Kevin Blaskowski. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, Coach, since we saw you last, you headed up to Denver for the College World Series, and you only got to play 3 games. You started off with a 4-0 win over Grand Valley State, and then it had taken 2 fairly close losses to Humboldt State and Southern Arkansas.
Yeah. You know, it's a tough event to prepare for. We had a short turnaround time between super regionals and trying to get to Denver and get prepared for the championship. And part of the sports festival, so there's a lot of things going on. But I thought we, despite some of the preparation issues, I thought we came out and played a good game the first day against Grand Valley State. We weren't probably as offensive as we could have been, but Kylie threw a great ball game in the circle for us, and gave us a chance to advance, and we see the number 5 team in the nation, Humboldt State, in game 2, and 3 of the first 4 innings we left the bases loaded. We left 16 runners on base in the game. We had an inning where we gave up 5 runs in the 5th inning to really allow them to extend a lead out. I think they were up 8-2 at that point in time, and then we score 3 runs to cut it to 8-5, and really still had a chance to win the ball game. Kind of a patented Lady Buff late rally, and we just couldn't get over the hump that we created in those early innings, not scoring runs. So fell into the losers bracket. Had to play a very good Southern Arkansas team, number 15 team in the country, and we talked about the fact we had to start better, and we had to come out and really establish ourselves and take the momentum early, and that didn't happen. We had a couple errors in the first couple innings, and we fall behind 4-0 early. Ends up being a 7-0 game for a while. Looks like we aren't even going to have a chance, and then in the 5th and 6th we come out and put up 4 and gain a little bit of momentum, run their starter out of the game, and we have a situation in the 6th. It's 7-4 with a runner on second base in the middle of our lineup up, and 1 out, and we just didn't get the hit that we needed to kind of extend that rally and get it going. And then in the 7th, we couldn't create very much offense. So tough week. It's a tough week to look at and say, we didn't play our best softball when we got to the highest level, and that's frustrating considering how we had played all year long. But we end up 59-5, set a school record for least number of losses in a season, put up the second most wins that we've had in program history, and we got to look back at it and say we had a great year. And we started 3 freshmen, we started 3 sophomore most of the time when Kylie was in the circle. So it's a young team that got valuable experience, and now we already start sitting down and planning for 16-17.
And whenever you kind of look back at the season, what are some big things that you really just like to potentially look on?
Well, the emergence of Kylie Halbert in the circle as a dominant arm for us and a dominant leader in our pitching staff. I mean, she went out and put up 27 wins for us this year, and had 4 losses, and that's a sophomore going out and doing that. So I think that was big. I think the emergence of Ashley Harden is just one of the best offensive players in the game right now in Division II, and the year she had as a sophomore. And Brittany Cruz had a great run, as a freshman, being the freshman of the year for us and putting up the numbers she did. But I'd be, I can't forget or can't not mention the contributions of this group of seniors. Lacey Taylor and Brittany Gale are going to leave as the 2 winningest members of our program. They both won over 200 games in their careers here. Tori Byer went out and established a Lone Star Conference saves record, and just had another unbelievable year for us as a senior in the circle, and an All-American. We pushed our number of All-Americans to 13 this year, with four new All-Americans added to the list. You look at what Andrea Sitter did coming in and starting the last month and a half of the season when Stacy went down with her injury, and Andrea did a great job for us. Then obviously until she was injured, Stacy Ramirez was probably one of the top players in Division II softball. So it's going to be a tough class to say goodbye to. Those 5 really contributed a lot to the program. We're going to say goodbye to Bailey Anderson also, who is, may have not gotten a lot of playing time, and we never really saw her name in the box score. But the leadership she provided on our bench and the energy she provided, she's had a great run too. So we'll replace those 6 players, and we'll take some time to reflect and recover. And about midsummer we start gearing back up and get everybody back in August and start writing the chapter for the 16-17 team.
And whenever you look forward to the future, what are the things that y'all are going to be trying to get done?
Well, we're going to continue. I think offensively we're going to continue to try and transition and do the number of things that we've done to be a multifaceted offensive team. We have some great offensive players coming in. When you talk about Shanna McBroom and Sierra Gentry and Hunter Irvin and players like that, Maddie Myers, who are truly offensive threats that can come in and make a lot of things happen. We'll hopefully make some continue to be better in the circle. Alexis Alfonso, I think, will have a big senior year for us, coming off of the experience she had this spring. Plus we had Alexis Ranieri, a freshman who won a state championship in Arizona this year. So I think our pitching staff will continue to get better. It's tough. It's tough maintaining where we are. I looked at it this morning. There's been 54 polls since the first week of the 2013 season. We have been ranked number 1 or number 2 in the country in 40 of those polls, and in each of those polls we were nationally ranked. We were only ranked outside of the top 10 in 4 of those polls. So in 50 of those 54 polls, we're a top 10 national program, and that's something to be proud of, but something we have to continue to work to maintain.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Up next for us is head baseball coach Matt Vanderburg. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, Coach, since we last saw you, made your way to the South Central Regional Championship Tournament. Ended up only getting to play two games there. One of those being your 10th time against Angelo State, and then seeing another familiar foe with Lubbock Christian, and both of those just ending in low-scoring losses.
Yeah, didn't play our best baseball, especially offensively. I thought we played really well defensively, and I thought we pitched it extremely well. And that's something that we've talked about all year. But obviously, seeing Angelo for the 10th time, Bryce Zach was really good. I mean, there's a reason why he was pitcher of the year in the conference. I mean, he's probably one of the best pitchers in the country. I think he's top 1 or 2 in strikeouts. So I mean, he's really good. That was a little bit frustrating to only get 1 run. We had some opportunities early, and a guy like that, you've got to get too early and hopefully knock some confidence away from him. And we just wasn't able to do that. But I told our guys, I mean, that's going to happen. That's baseball. I was pretty disappointed with the Lubbock Christian game. I think we left 13 base runners on base, but obviously with that, I mean, that means you're at least getting guys on base and having those opportunities. But when we had those opportunities, we didn't capitalize on them. Offensively. So, that's a completely different ballgame if you get a couple hits to drop, do some different things like that. And you got to give them credit, Lubbock Christian. They made some great plays defensively. They made probably 3 or 4 diving plays with base runners on base to end innings and stuff. So, that's baseball. Again, we didn't play our best baseball, especially offensively, but I do think there's some great things that came from this past weekend. Again, I thought we played outstanding defense, really pitched it well. Our seniors really came up big. We let go of 13 seniors now, 13 really good seniors, a lot of great leaders. With likes of Trace Hansen, Matt Cole, Jake Fuller. List goes on and on with the 13 seniors. So it's going to be hard to replace those guys, but that's something that we've done every single year. I think last year we lost 10 or 11 seniors, so we're already starting to hear, how you're going to replace these guys, here and there. But that's what we do. That's part of the recruiting process. We're in that right now, and we're excited for a new batch of guys to come through. And we've got a lot of young guys that played a lot of crucial innings for us this year. A lot of freshmen that stepped up really big, a lot of juniors that'll be seniors next year, so we'll have some great leadership. We've got two of the best catchers in the conference back, so the base is there for us. We just got to find the last couple pieces for next year.
And then looking back on this season, what were some key things of this season that you can really look back on?
I think it's great that in our conference right now we're the first team or the only team in our conference that's made it to 3 straight South Central regional tournaments. That's something that's really important to us to continue to make it to that tournament because if you're making it there, you're one tournament away from going to the World Series, and anybody in that, you've seen that this past weekend. Anybody in there can win the tournament or go 0-2. Mesa was the host team, won 40-plus games. Everybody thought they were probably the favorites to win it, and they go 0-2. And then Angelo State ends up winning it, and their team, obviously, we know really well in our conference. It just shows how good our conference is, that they were able to run through that. They didn't lose a game first time in that regional tournament that a team made it to the World Series without losing a game in the regional. It's a tough regional, but if you keep getting there, that's a big accomplishment. But we've got to get over that hump and be able to win that tournament. It's a tough tournament to win, but I think we've got the talent right now to, when you get to that level, it's just a lot of it's about who gets the breaks, who's hot at the right moment. And Angelo State was obviously hitting on all cylinders this past weekend, did a great job there. But excited about our guys, and also we won the conference tournament for the first time in school history, which was really big to be able to show our guys how to win tournaments. Because it's different, going through the year and winning games, being good throughout the year, and then being able to be a tournament team. Being a tournament team is a difficult task because, every pitch is very crucial. You have to be able to pitch it, play good defense, and have to get those hitters that are hot at the right moment and stuff. And we were able to do that in the Lone Star Conference tournament, and now we just got to make that jump to be able to win the big tournament, the regional tournament, and move on to the World Series. And I think we're close. We've got the guys in place to do that. It's just about getting it done at the right time.
And then finally, just looking forward to the next season. Of course, there's always the deal of, we gotta, figure out the replacements for the seniors, but what are some other things that you're looking to put some emphasis towards going to the next year?
I'm excited about the future. I really am. The future's bright here at WT Baseball. We've got everything in place. Obviously we've got some younger guys, the Blake Weavers, Christian Loyas, that really got a lot of innings for us, or a lot of playing time for us. Justin McAllister will be back on the mound. We got a handful of guys on the mound that'll be back that got a lot of innings this year. So everything's in place for us to do well. We've just got to continue to build, continue to teach these guys, how crucial every at bat is, especially in tournament play, and that's something that I think we've gotten better at the last couple years, and we'll continue to get better at. That stuff that we'll adjust in our coaching plans moving forward as well. Just continuing to find different ways to score runs, because obviously when it comes to playoff time, every game's really close. You see this past weekend we lose a 4-1 game and a 2-4 game that we lose late and stuff, and that if we get a hit here or there or do something different here or there, it's reversed. We win 4-2 instead of lose 4-2. So that's stuff that, the experience that these guys got this year will carry over to next year as well.
Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next year.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
Folks, thank you for joining us on this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Again, it is the final episode of the WT Coaches Show for the year, but do keep an eye out next week. We may have a special treat for you.